Welcome back to Svalbard, an island close to the North Pole. It's me, Cecilia. While our summers are definitely full of days with the sun shining bright all throughout the night, we also have our fair share of grey, moody days. We have seen on the weather forecast that there is a rainstorm rolling in, and it's clearly noticeable in the morning air that the weather is about to shift. It kind of feels like the calm before the storm. I'm making sure to hang out my sheets to air before the bad weather arrives, because I will not miss an opportunity to freshen them up in the crisp Arctic air. Days like these are the perfect opportunity to get an open fire going and spend the day inside cozying up in the cabin, but we're running low on firewood inside, so I need to fill that up first. Now that it's July and all of the snow has melted, the tundra has started blooming. Here and there you can see the smallest, most vibrant flowers popping up through the thick moss-like top layer of the ground. You hear me talking about the tundra a lot, so let me give you a quick explanation of it. Svalbard is covered in permafrost, which is permanently frozen ground. In summer, the top layer of the ground thaws and the most resilient of plant life blooms. A general trait of the vegetation is that the plants are low in height and often grow by creeping. Most of the plants are important food sources for some of Svalbard animals. The Svalbard reindeer, Svalbard rock ptarmigan, and different goose species enjoy a varied supply of the new shoots and flowers in spring, grass and herb stems in summer, and some, such as reindeer and geese, also eat moss. Some easily recognizable flowers are the vibrant saxifraga and the whimsical cottongrass, my personal favorite, because it takes over valleys, making it look like something out of a fairy tale.
Gullisgrin. Hej! Kan man inte få en gås? Kom. Why is life so hard sometimes?
I can really appreciate a moody and rainy day, especially here on Svalbard during the midnight sun season. My heart usually lies in the cozy days, and during summer we don't have a lot of those. So when a moody day comes along, I treasure it, bringing in some firewood, preparing a cozy fire, and slowing down with the weather. Living on Svalbard means having 4 months of constant daylight, which is amazing, but often makes me miss the dark and cozy days. I long for the comfort of a dimly lit room on a cool fall evening with the soft glow of candles and the feeling of closeness that shorter days bring. So a somewhat dark, moody summer day is a special treat, offering a break from the endless brightness. These rare gloomy days remind me of the changing seasons and the beauty in contrasts, making them even more special and appreciated.
Hej. Okej, Grim. Se om du släpper någon päls. Kanske du inte gör. Du menar att den här pälsen ska du ha i sommar? Här kom lite. Vänta. Och så. Stanna. Stanna. Okej, här. Det är byxorna som släpper, vet du. Det är shortsen, nu ryker de. Vänta. Herregud vad långhårig han är. Han luktar oysters. Flinkis. Lugnt. Så ja. Kan de ta såna? Vad har hänt? Vilket årgång är bäst? Tack. Här. Oj. Kallar jag dig. Duktig. En från mig. Varsågod. You know how I've been saying that I want to take up some new hobbies, especially creative ones? Today's sponsor is helping me do exactly that. So a huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. My mom is an artist who is very gifted with a paintbrush, and ever since I was young, I have been loving to draw and paint. So I've decided I'm going to take up that hobby again. This is where Skillshare becomes the perfect tool because Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes. I'm currently taking the class Learn How to Draw, a comprehensive intro to drawing foundations and style by Mimi Chow. I love how this class teaches beginner fundamental drawing skills using fun and beautiful exercises, and it has also made me really understand the importance of knowing the basics in order to improve. I've already added a bunch of more drawing classes to my playlist, so when I'm done with this one with Mimi, I'm just gonna continue learning. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today. Thank you so much to Skillshare, and let's head back to the video.
A rainy day is the perfect day for a light cabin reset. I generally do one of these resets once, sometimes twice a week. I really like having a tidy cabin as it helps me keep a tidy mind, if that makes sense. I find clutter to be stressful, so most of our things have a home, someplace in the cabin where it lives. So on my resets, I just basically put stuff back where it belongs. When it comes to doing laundry, we do about 1 load a week. Since we're not connected to the water line, we have a cabin system with a water tank. So we always have to be mindful of how much water we use. Showers are short and our dishwasher is our best friend. I always thought a dishwasher used a lot of water, but ours actually only uses 6 liters. It's funny how quickly you can get used to something. In our first year and a half in this cabin, we lived without any running water. We would go to the village to shower at the gym, and we would do washing at a friend's house. Let me know in the comments if you were around on my channel at that time. It was the beginning of so much for me, the start of this cabin life and the start of my YouTube channel. So much has happened since then, and I am so grateful for where we are today.
has arrived, which I think is kind of cozy. I'm just happy that I hung out my sheets before the bad weather, or that I took them in before it started raining. That would have been bad otherwise. Today's cup, look at this, a little mushroomy. Oh, such a beauty. I was just in Sweden to see my parents and also my sister who just had a baby. It was so nice. We also timed the weather incredibly. It was sunshine. We had a little bit of rain, but for most of the week we had just sunshine and like 25 degrees, and it was absolutely lovely. My mom and I, we had written a list of things we wanted to do so we didn't miss out, and at the top of that list was road biking. We both love road biking, and in Sweden it's so perfect for it. And we road biked almost every day. Anytime we went to see my sister, which was like every day, we biked there almost every time, which is like a 40 or 50-minute ride along the coast. And you just like cruise. And I also, my bike, I love it. There's no reason to have it up here. I would have loved to have my road bike here, but we have one road, which is asphalt for like, how many kilometers? 6 kilometers? I can't just go back and forth there. I don't even think it's 6 kilometers, to be honest. Anyway, it was so good. I haven't been back to the place where I grew up in maybe, I'm gonna say like 7 years or something. I grew up there, so I spent so much time there that I kind of enjoy going to different places. That's how I feel. You know, Sweden is beautiful in many places. I just don't find it that exciting. Again, because it's my home country. I think that's kind of the thing about it. The rain is coming and going. You can hear it just go psh against the windows with a bunch of gusts of wind, and then it stops and it just like trickles. We very rarely get proper rain up here because it shouldn't rain here at all. It should be an Arctic desert.
Well, actually, that is not entirely correct, so let me explain. There are so many fascinating things about life here on this Arctic island. Not only do we have glaciers, permafrost, polar bears, and northern lights, the climate is also an interesting topic, as Svalbard is actually considered an Arctic desert. Because of the cold temperatures and low humidity, Svalbard falls into the northern part of our planet known as Arctic desert. Our area receives minimal precipitation and the air is almost as dry as it would be in a hot desert. But that doesn't mean it never rains or that it shouldn't rain here at all. The simple definition of an Arctic desert is an area that receives less than 250 millimeters of precipitation each year. Looking at this graph, we can see that Svalbard Lufthavn, which is Svalbard Airport, recorded 232 millimeters of precipitation in 2020. So while it doesn't rain a lot here, we still have some rainy days throughout the year. Looking at the last 12 months, you can clearly see that most of our rain falls late in the summer in August and September. But there is still the odd rainy day here and there throughout the year.
Do you want to see the books I bought? That's what I kind of sat down here also to show you. Every time I travel, I buy books because we don't have a bookstore up here. I went to the library actually to see if I should start like borrowing books from there. But they don't have any of the new releases. They have like a lot of good Svalbard books and they have like a very big library. But I think they also take most of the books in Norwegian and whatever. I was looking for a bunch of different ones and didn't really find anything that I was actually, wanting to read. So, and I also get a very kind of like, I get a little bit of a personal connection with the books that I read. And I like to reread them or I like to, look at them. Anyway. So this one has been on my list for a long time, The Covenant of Water. It's set in India and I absolutely love books set in India. One of my favorite books that I read about India is from Thriti Umrigad, is how I'm going to say her name. The Secrets, no, it's, I keep thinking about she made a new one with a similar name. I think the second one is called The Secrets Between Us and the first one is called I'll have to write it down. I keep forgetting. Anyway, so I got that one and I'm very excited about this. Then I got this one, which is the sequel to Priory of an Orange Tree. I started that book and I put it down after like 50 pages because it was so complicated. But now that I've read so much fantasy, I'm so much more in my head about world building. I kind of grasp it a lot better. So, and I know I really liked the first 50 pages. It was just too complicated. Now I'm ready. I am ready for these two. So I got that one. Put it here. Then I realized I've not read these. I fell in love with the historic materials after living here, and I read them like 3 years ago, and I'd never even heard about them. So I love those. Anyway, so I realized that there's more to this, but I got the first one. I think there's 2 and a third one's coming out, and I've heard really good things about these. It seems to be like either you love it or hate it. I think I'm gonna love it. So I'm excited about that. And then also I'm adding on to the Brandon Sanderson books that I have. I heard afterwards that this is young adult, but I don't mind young adult as a good, easy read. I think it could be a really nice in-between series, in between all the complicated ones. I'm currently finishing Throne of Glass 6, I think it is, Tower of Dawn, and it's a lot. That one is quite heavy. Not heavy in information, just it's a little bit slow. So I kind of want to just get that one done. That's how I feel. But I'm gonna power through it. It's still very good, but it's definitely not my favorite in the series. But I have just that one and another one. I might read a book in between the last one. That's kind of how I'm doing it, because otherwise I just end up being stuck on one series for such a long time. But so this is what we have now. I think before starting this, I'm going to read Mistborn because I have the first 3 books in that series. And I'm going to start reading again. I have been, usually when summer comes around, I kind of take a little break because it's so bright in the evenings. But now I feel ready to kind of focus on books again and kind of get lost in the world, which I'm excited about. So these are the ones I got. So that's nice. I thought today we would just do this really cozy sit down, on an open fire and everything that we do when the weather is like this. We just cozy up inside. Okay, I'm gonna show you the rain because it's escalating.